Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the December Murrieta Student of the Month program. We are so excited to have you here this morning. We are going to begin our program with prayer from Isaac McCamey from Student Venture.
Morning, everybody. If you could just bow your heads with me and pray. Dear Lord, we just thank you for this beautiful morning. We thank you for all these students and their families that are gathered here and that they have just proven themselves as good influences on these campuses and as leaders. And I just pray that they would continue to do that as the school year goes on, Lord. I want to just pray for the rest of the school year that it would just go smoothly, and as they wrap up finals that they would do well on them, Lord. And I pray for breakfast that you would just bless it, Lord, and that we just be able to leave this place in a better mood, and that it would just be a great day today, Lord, and that these students would be able to go back to their campuses and just continue to be a light to the other students there. And pray these things in your name. Amen.
At this time, I'll have Mr. Patrick Kelly lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
If I could have everyone stand, please. The flag is at the front. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. This morning, our founder, Sally Myers, could not be here, so I will take her place. She is at home ill, so let's keep her in our thoughts. The Student of the Month program was founded 27 years ago in Temecula by Sally Myers, owner of Sizzler Restaurants. It expanded to Murrieta in 1995 and then to Lake Elsinore and Paris Menifee. These four programs celebrate and honor outstanding students who make a significant difference in their schools and community. The mission statement of the Student of the Month program is to provide a local high school recognition program which will acknowledge and honor college-bound senior students for their character, their love of learning, commitment to academics, in addition to their participation in athletics, school activities, community service, or the ability to persevere and overcome difficult life circumstances in a setting that honors God, country, family, community, and free enterprise. At this time, I'd like to recognize our Student of the Month volunteers. So if they could just come up and stand. I know that they're really busy. So we have Llewellyn Fickey here today who's helping us out. Where are you, Llewellyn? Stand up, Llewellyn. There we go. She's our chair and scholarship application administrator. We have Dan Stake, who's a greeter. Andy Morris, who's a greeter. Rhonda Levine, who does our communications. And then way in the back is Catherine Pepe, right, Catherine? Yes. She's organizing back there. There you go, there we go. And at this time, I'd like to recognize our students and principals. So from Murrieta Valley High School, we have Principal Mark Pettengill and student Colin Winters. If you could stand. And from Murrieta Canyon Academy, we have Principal Martina Beach Hedges and student Kirsten Monreal. From Calvary Christian School, we have Principal Derek Roth and student Peyton Longmore. From Springs Charter School, we have Principal Tammy Jackson and student Serena Sapersky. Hopefully I got that right. From Vista Murrieta High School, we have Principal Mick Wager and student Blake Lindemeyer. And from Murrieta Mesa High School, we have Principal Steve Ellis and student Ethan Wu. At this time, I'd like to bring up Andy Morris from the Murrieta Chamber of Commerce to share a few special words.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy holidays. It is such a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Board of Directors and almost 1,000 members of the Murrieta Willamar Chamber of Commerce. I'm the immediate past chairman of the board. And, I just want to say this is a really big deal for you students to be nominated and then chosen as Student of the Month. I don't know if you guys even realized it before you showed up here today what a big deal it was. But I think by the end of today you're going to see that it really is a big deal and why we have put this program together and continue to support it from a business perspective. It's because we know how important you are to us and the students. And our hope is, as a Chamber of Commerce, is that you guys are going to go off and do the great things that you guys do, but then you're going to come back to the community that supported you. And that's our true goal. And I just want to say how proud we are of you, and also congratulations to the parents and the administrators that make this such a great place to be a part of a business, but and also a community. So congratulations again. We look forward to hearing from you, and have a great morning. Thank you so much.
And I'd like to recognize our Murrieta Valley Unified School District Board members. We have this morning here Ken Dixon and Linda Lund. So thank you for being here. At this time, I'd like to thank Group 1 Production and Stephen Ashby for videotaping today's event. It will be available to view on the Murrieta Valley Unified School District website or through the link in your program. Stephen, he does a great job on a monthly basis, so thank you very much, Stephen. And also thank you to Kip Cothran from KC Photography, who is providing everyone free access to all of the pictures from this morning. Parents and those in attendance can visit his website listed in the program. Thank you, Kip. And also thank you to the City of Murrieta for providing airtime on Time Warner Cable Channel, so you can view this whole morning. So thank you to City of Murrieta and our Mayor, Jonathan Ingram. Thank you. Now I'd like to recognize our sponsors. We have from Abbott, Sal Mendez and Ray Evans, so thank you for being here this morning. From Alta Pacific Bank, we have Dan Stake and Lori Lutweiler, so thank you, Dan. From Altura Credit Union, we have Joshua Smith here this morning. I know he's somewhere. There he is in the back. From Azusa Pacific University, we have Nacheli Rodriguez. Good morning, Nacheli. And we'd like to thank Sally Myers, BMW Management and Sizzler Restaurants. From Cal State University San Marcos, we have Donna San Miguel, who's here this morning. Where is she? There she is in the back. From Calvary Murrieta Christian High School, Derek Roth. Thank you, Derek. From the City of Murrieta, Mayor Jonathan Ingram. I know he's in the back over there. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Dixon. There we go. From Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District, we have Andy Morris. And also from Farmers Insurance, Andy Morris. So there you go. Thank you, Andy. We thank Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Kelly. And from King Law Firm, we have Sasha Scove, and with that, there's going to be this little application in your backpack when you get that. There's a little application for you to fill out, and it will cover one of your application fees. So make sure you do that, students, because I think that's $75 to $100, so that's a great thing. So let's thank them, King Law Firm. And from Loma Linda University Medical Center, and from Temecula Valley Olive Oil Company, Catherine Pepe. There we go. And Mayor and Mrs. Jonathan Ingram. He's over there in the back. Everybody wave. From Mount San Jacinto College, we have Mary Lou Dillard, Morris Myers, and Todd Hoover. Thank you for being here this morning. And from RC Grading, we have Dean and Robin Christ. And from Richie's Real American Diner, Linda Williams. Thank you to Springs Charter School for being a sponsor. And last but not least, Which Superior Sandwiches, we have Sandy Ward. Thank you. So, part of being the Student of the Month, you have the opportunity to apply for the Student of the Year. So you'll be invited to complete a scholarship application in the spring, and I think it will come to you around March. And you will compete only against other Student of the Months from your school. So it's a small group. That Student of the Year breakfast will be held in May. The entire list of Murrieta Student of the Month sponsors are listed in our program along with all of our sponsors. So let's give a round of applause to all of our sponsors. At this time, we are going to move into the student presentations, the most important part of our program. You will hear examples of character, college choice, and future plans. The students will share their heartfelt stories with you today, and you will quickly understand why they are chosen as Students of the Month. Remember, time limit is 5 minutes per school. I remind the principals of this every month. Principals have a minute, students have 2.5 minutes, teachers have a minute, and the family has a minute. Students, when you come forward, please bring your family and guests with you. They'll stand on this side, and then the principal and the staff member will stand on the other side. Guests, save a dry corner of your napkins for the heartfelt student presentations. Students, try to relax and speak clearly into the microphone. We are all family. And then stand close together so that way Stephen can get you into the picture. We don't want to have to come up and scoot you together. At this time, I am going to invite up Murrieta Mesa High School Principal Steve Ellis and student Ethan Wu.
Ready? Sorry. I'll get it together. Good morning. That was well received. Come on. Anyway, good morning. My name is Steve Ellis, and I'm the principal at Murrieta Mesa High School, where I'm privileged to work with the incredible students like the young man you're about to meet. I love this event and cannot think of a better way to wrap up for a semester than having this breakfast with just a few short days to go. Well, it's a few long days to go, if we're honest. The educators get that. I think the students get that too. I'd like to start by thanking Sally, Jennifer, Llewellyn, Mary, and all the sponsors for making this such a great event in our community. I would also like to thank and congratulate all of the other students here today for your hard work and for being recognized, your families, and the teachers and educators here. It really does take a team, and Murrieta is a pretty great team. This morning, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Murrieta Mesa's Senior of the Month for December, Ethan Wu. I'm going to start by giving a very brief list of just a few of his accomplishments and involvements during his time at Mesa. Ethan is an accomplished student, maintaining above a 4.0 GPA while continuing to take his rigorous schedule, including multiple AP classes. Ethan's been a part of our swim team all 4 years. He's captain this year. He's a member of our Chinese club, where he's an officer. Ethan has also been a member of our NJROTC program for 4 years. He's had several leadership roles within the program, the most recent being the cadet commander, which is the top student leadership position in the whole ROTC. In his time outside of school, Ethan is the boys' youth group leader at his church. I'm guessing by now you've noticed the same trend I noticed when I spoke with Ethan, and that's that everything he does, apparently he's the leader in, which is it's impressive. It's that he's not a bang your chest, follow me type of guy. So we'll get to that. Ethan's a member of the NHS, CSF, and CSF. He's earned his black belt in Krav Maga and is close to earning his black belt in Aikido. Did I say those correctly? Very good. As you can see from his accomplishments and role, not only is Ethan a leader, he also excels in all that he takes on. What may be most impressive about Ethan is not that he's earned all these roles and accomplishments, but the manner in which he's gone about taking care of business. Ethan leads by example. Students follow him not because he's in their faces yelling at them or bragging or trying to puff himself up or demanding respect, but they follow because they want to and they respect him of how he leads and how he holds himself. Ethan is humble and is not worried with his title or role. He is only concerned with doing the best he can. To be honest, when I was meeting with him for this event, it was like pulling teeth to get him to tell me anything that he does, that he excels in, any of his accomplishments. He just sat there quietly, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. It's clear from the nominations I received from staff and my own limited insight into Ethan that we know he embodies Mesa pride, purpose, responsibility, integrity, duty, and excellence. Mesa is a better place because Ethan is here. I know that Ethan will accomplish much in his life. It is my pleasure to introduce Ethan Wu.
Man, I gotta go after that. Okay. Thank you for the introduction.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I'm excited that I could be here with you all today. Before I like to begin, I'd like to introduce my amazing parents, James and Wen. And I would also like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Jackson. Lieutenant Colonel Jackson has always been a great role model for me, and he's always been there and just motivating me and always being just someone that I can look up to and that leads by the example. My goal for the future is to go to one of the military academies, and recently, last week, I've received a nomination from a Congress member to West Point. So that's pretty good. My biggest experience or hardest experience was probably my second time at Leadership Academy. My first time, it was mostly just learning from everybody else that was there. And it was a huge mountain of mental and physical stress to be at and overcome. My second time going, I needed to lead the cadets, and people were watching me every moment, so I needed to be at 120% every moment of the day, running on 2 to 3 hours of sleep every night. And it was really stressful, and every single day I would tell myself, just make it to the next meal, then the next, and eventually I made it. So that was always something that I pride myself in, and I think that all the people that have put time and effort into me and that has built me up into the person I am today. And so thank you all. Thank you for everyone for listening. Thank you to Sizzlers for their generosity and support of this event. And now I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, everyone. This is my favorite event that I've done this a couple of times, but this is one of my favorite things to do in association with the district and as an educator. And it's not because we celebrate the student with the highest GPA. We celebrate students who are well-rounded, people who excel in maybe different areas, but the common word is excel. One thing Ethan didn't mention, and I know he doesn't like to beat his own drum, but he has already earned a full ride NROTC National Scholarship for the Navy. And hopefully he'll get that appointment to the Naval Academy and can tell the West Point to, stick it. Hope there's not any Army folks in here, but that's how I feel. But Ethan's been my student for 4 years now, and I have not found a more mature, a young man with character. He's very young to have the character he has, and he's led 160 of the cadets at Murrieta Mesa. For this last year, he just relinquished command of the unit last week, or earlier this week, Monday actually, and he did an outstanding job, and he has taken our unit to different levels where we got funded finally from the Navy, and he was part of that. It's a cadet ran program, but he was the best choice and to lead the program, and I can't say enough about his character, his integrity, and he's just a great young man. So best of luck to you, and this is well deserved. Well deserved.
Introduce your dad. Ethan, introduce your dad to us. All right. Get out of the way.
I guess this is what happens when you pick up the wrong baby at hospital. I'd like to thank the school for the training and the church for the environment, and picking up the wrong baby too. So, thank you.
All right, you guys are good. All right, now it's my pleasure to call up Springs Charter School and Principal Tammy Jackson.
Good job.
Well, thank you. And good morning. See, we'll get a little bit better every time. Go, we're waking up. Bring on the coffee. I'm Tammy Jackson. I'm the Senior Director of Individualized Learning Programs at Springs Charter Schools. I'm giving up my time to Serena's teacher today, Amy Hyman, and I'll tell you a little bit why I'm doing that. So our program that Serena represents is our homeschool program. So for 7 years, Amy Hyman, her teacher, has supported her mother, Susan, in the personalized learning path that she's chosen. So when Amy speaks to you about what that looks like, you're going to hear how they personalize so that Serena could pursue her goals and her passions. This is a really unique feature of our program, and we're really proud of it. I love this breakfast. I have to drive an hour to get here, so every month, like all of you, I'm getting here. I got to be here at 7:45. It's very serious, and and then we need to all get on with our school days. But this is most definitely my favorite event that I get to come to. I usually get to come 3 times a year, and I just love it. And I really appreciate that the community does this because it really shows that they care about its citizens and especially its young people. I'm now going to turn over my time to Amy Hyman, and thank you.
Good morning. We had a very strict timeline, so I have 45 minutes. I timed it. It's 1 minute, so I have to hurry. I've had the pleasure of working with Serena and her wonderful family since she was in 6th grade. She's enrolled in Springs homeschool program, so I get to work monthly with Serena and her family at their house and have gotten to know them all very well. Very well. Serena is an exceptional student in every way. Academically, she has always pushed herself. She began taking high school classes in middle school, continued that push through high school, taking at least 8 college courses while she was in high school through dual enrollment. She also takes the CTE pathway at Springs, starting with engineering and continuing through networking and PC security. She's a gifted pianist, putting many hours in her practice and sharing her gift with others by performing at various community events. I enjoy listening to her when I come to meetings, and she plays for me. It's incredible. She's also an incredible golfer, participating in top golf events and being ranked in many top tournaments. I know nothing about golf, so when they tell me, I go, oh, good. And then I go home and tell my husband, and he goes, oh, that's really good. In addition, the other hint that she's such a great golfer is the many, many trophies and posters with her name at the very top as #1 golfer. So, exceptional. Serena has earned a full scholarship to UNLV for her excellence. I have loved every minute of my time with Serena and Susan, and I will miss seeing them every month and hearing about the amazing things they are doing. Serena is a sweet girl with great gifts and an incredible future ahead. Serena.
Hi, good morning. My name is Serena Sapersky, and I've been a student with River Springs Charter School since the 4th grade. My mother and my wonderful education specialist, Amy Hyman, have been my teachers for, 7 years or so. I have contributed to my school and community through charity work and promoting a positive impression. As I travel and play golf, I am surrounded by many players from around the world. No matter where I am, I try to be a good example to others, to set forth good standards, and to act as an ambassador for my community, my school, and my country. I play piano and golf for numerous charities to help out. In my grandfather's retirement home, I like to perform different piano pieces for them. It is a time to share music and spend time with them. Academics are important to me as well. With all the time spent traveling and playing tournaments, it is important to manage my time to get things done in order to maintain my straight A average. I have to work extra hard to get ahead of my assignments because I'll be traveling the next week. Golf is a very time-consuming sport, so in order to make good grades, I have to excel and practice with a purpose. Golf teaches me about life. It teaches me about etiquette, waiting your turn, being polite, and being honest. But above all, golf teaches me how to accept the uncontrollable. You can play on the same golf course every day, and not one day will be like the day before. Despite how hard you practice, you will encounter a bad kick that puts you in the water or into a bunker. I've had that happen a few times. But one thing you can learn is that you must always accept the things that are out of your control. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we choose to respond. My motto is to remember that struggle leads to strength. Every difficulty in your life, whether big or small, is something God will use to produce more strength, faith, and perseverance in you if you let Him. I would love the opportunity to play in the LPGA, but I know I must also plan for any changes in the future, and therefore I must pursue a degree in college. I plan on studying cybersecurity at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. With the constant threat of cyber attacks, it is an important field to pursue in order to do my part to protect this nation and its citizens. Attacks on our country may not come from outward military assaults, but also from internal computer programs. I feel it is essential to become aware of how these threats may occur so we can stop them. Thank you to all the sponsors for this award and the opportunity to share my story.
Okay. I'd like to thank the sponsors very much for hosting this event, for the Myers family, River Springs Charter, as well for their support. I want to thank my wife, Susan, for raising Serena and for being such a great teacher for her. You know, Serena, you're a very special kid. You've amazed me in so many different ways. You've got a huge heart. You're a service community by playing the piano at retirement centers, before city council meetings. Guys, you go much stalls at, rescue centers. You know, you work with kids at the golf course, and I see the way their eyes light up. You know, you've accomplished so many things, both athletically and academically. You're a straight A student, 4.3 GPA. A little choked up, man. It's hard when you talk about your daughter, you're on your fourth semester at a junior college at 16 years old. Athletically, you're going to the alma mater. You're going to UNLV. You got a full ride scholarship. You're a top 25 amateur golfer. You're a Rolex All-American. Trans-America Academic All-American. You've won numerous Player of the Year awards, 100 different golf trophies. It's amazing. It's incredible. I've told you this before. You could stop right now. You've exceeded my expectations as a kid. I just want you to know, keep your focus going forward. God, family, books, golf. Everything else come along the way to be successful. But it kind of reminds me of a story. I know I've told you this. I told you this. But, I always repeat myself. But it's like when you're about 3, I bought you a Build-A-Bear. And recorded a voice message on it, and it says, "Your mommy loves you, your daddy loves you, you're an amazing little girl." And today that stands true. Today it still stands true. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, goodness gracious. Oh, next up is Murrieta Canyon Academy with Martina Beach Hedges, principal. Thank you.
Good morning. Well, Mr. Sapersky, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that without having tears running down my eyes. It's just so good to see people just care about their kids so much that they get choked up, particularly fathers. I'm here. I am from Murrieta Canyon Academy. I'm the principal. I'm so proud to be the principal. And it's for this reason that I get to talk about kids like my Kirsten here. We have this event, and I'm so excited. Not to take away from all the accomplishments of all these other students, congratulations to you. But what's exciting about Murrieta Canyon Academy being an alternative school is that we get to talk about students that are hidden gems to me because they overcome so much to get where they're at. And that's true of Kirsten. Kirsten, what we do is we have the teachers send in recommendations, and Mrs. Scott sent in a recommendation, which was amazing, sweet recommendation. And then we have people look at it, and she was chosen, without a doubt, chosen. And it's because Kirsten has been with us since 8th grade in our independent study program, and she has worked so hard. But it's not just her hard work, it's what she's had to overcome to still stay with us. When I told her that she was going to be our Student of the Month, most kids get oh wow, that's so great, thanks. Kirsten, that's gonna be hard for me. Kirsten looked at me and she's like, this has never happened to me. No one's ever recognized this for me, even when I was younger. And I was like, then you absolutely deserve this because you have worked so hard, overcome so much medically, the trauma in her life, to get where she is. We were at a point where she was going to, I didn't mean to make you cry, baby, where she was going to graduate early, but she's just working so hard and just is an amazing young lady. She's like, her determination, boundless focus on what she needs to do is going to serve her so well when she goes out there and works in the medical field, and she'll talk more about that. But I'm just so proud, and there's just endless words that I could say about Kirsten. I'm just so proud of her. I'm proud that I know her. I want to know her in 5 and 10 years because, out of difficulty comes opportunity. And she said to us, like, she wouldn't have made it without us. I doubt that. I think that she would do anything because she is so amazing and so determined. So I'm very proud to introduce you to Kirsten Monreal.
Okay, if I can stop crying for 2 seconds. Okay. Hi, my name is Kirsten Monreal, and I attend Murrieta Canyon Academy. I have been with them since my 8th grade year, about 3 months into 8th grade. When I started out at the school, I wasn't necessarily the best kid or in the best circumstances. And when I got there, it was only Tanaha for the independent study program, and there were only 2 teachers. And I had Mr. Reed, who I happened to know for a very large portion of my life. And he was really the first person who believed in me that I was even smart, that I could even finish high school or even start it. When I came to him, I was behind in middle school. I hadn't gotten all the elementary and middle schooling that most kids had. And I was there every day for hours, and he would help me with every single thing. And at the time, there was a counselor, Miss Davis, who would meet with me multiple times a week just to talk to me and talk through everything and make sure I was okay. I even had some teachers and some staff members who would drive me to school and pick me up because I couldn't get there and because they didn't want me walking if it was hot or rainy. And nobody ever really did that to me or for me until then. I chose to try and go back to Murrieta Valley and back to a regular school, which was okay at first, and then I have been a type 1 diabetic since I was 10 years old, and I was uncontrolled for the first 6 years of my life, and it got so bad to the point that I was in the hospital 2 to 3 times a month. I was life flighted 7 times within the first 2 years of my high school. I was put on home hospitalization at Murrieta Valley. I had only earned about 10 credits my 9th grade year. I was told there was no way I was going to graduate. I was told I was lying. I was told it wasn't my health. And so I switched back to Murrieta Canyon Academy my sophomore year to go back. And when I got there, I met Miss Scott, who was a teacher there now, and I had really just given up. I didn't think I was even going to live to see my senior year. So there was no point for me to try. I stayed home every day because I was so sick. I didn't want to try. And then Miss Scott, every time I would come to school, she would tell me how smart I was and how I could do it and how I could get this done if I tried and how smart I was. So my second semester, sophomore year, I decided that I wasn't going to be sick anymore. I wasn't going to let it control me. And I was able to remake my high school credits and that semester in 1 semester on credit recovery. And that is where I was on track to graduate early. However, I chose not to because I wanted 2 years of language so I could go to a 4-year college. And now, not only am I going to graduate high school, I am going to go to Job Corps in LA for
nursing, and where I'm going to continue to transfer schools and keep going into schooling until I achieve my forensic nursing degree. And I hope to eventually get to medical examiner. And a life lesson that I'm really going to take to college at Murrieta Canyon did teach me was, no matter what cards that you're dealt, no matter how you start out, you can change it. You can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be your family, your parents, or what anybody else tells you. You can be whoever you want. And I owe that to Miss Scott and Mr. Reed and Miss Beach and Miss Davis, because if they wouldn't have pointed out how much I was worth, I don't know that I would have ever figured that out.
Trying to get through this without crying. She's special, because if you didn't already realize that. I have two daughters, one that's her age and one that's in college, and when I first met Kirsten years ago, I said to her, if my children grow up to be half the person you already are, I've done my job as a parent, I'm proud. She's become a surrogate daughter to me, who I love very much. And in case you couldn't tell from her speech and the things we've said about her, this young lady is the personification of the word resilient. She has overcome more things in her short lifetime than most older adults do, and she sails through it all with grace and positivity. She always comes in with a smile. She's always willing to help motivate other students or other adults on the campus that might be having a hard day. She's always positive, always hardworking, extremely self-motivated. She's very humble, so she won't tell you a lot of the things she's dealing with, but you got a glimpse of them. She's also the caretaker for her two younger brothers. She's basically their mother, and does everything during the week with them. So she juggles a lot of different things, and she does them all 100% with a smile and with grace and with positivity. And I just couldn't be more proud of her.
Okay, so it is my privilege to introduce Calvary Christian School Principal Derek Roth.
Good morning. My name is Derek Roth. I'm the principal of Calvary Murrieta, and it is my privilege to introduce our student of the month, Peyton Longmore. And Peyton holds a special place in my heart because, well, we've learned tonight, or today, this morning, just the power of kindness. We've heard that many times through our students' lives and the things that they've gone through, the power of love. And Peyton personifies that for us at our school. He is one of the kindest young men I have ever met. And his love for his Lord beams through him continuously and shines brightly on our campus and in the lives of students around him. Each month when I get to talk with our student of the month, I ask them their favorite verse. And Peyton has shared with me that his favorite verse is out of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But I'm going to start up in 28. Have you not known, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and young men shall utterly fall, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And Peyton is a tiny package of amazingness. And he has so much amazing strength within him. He is mature beyond his years. His wisdom has been given by the Lord. I can tell you that for sure, because he should not know the things that he knows or have the advice that he has when he talks with his peers or even with us as teachers and staff. He is such a huge blessing. I know that Mr. Bell will talk more about him and his individual things that he has excelled at, but for me, when I look at the big picture of Peyton Longmore, I see a young man who loves his Lord and just personifies that love in his life. So very proud of him. Can't wait to see what the Lord's going to do through him as he continues to grow and on to college. But Peyton, we're very, very proud to nominate you as our Student of the Month.
Hello, my name is Peyton Longmore, and I have with me my mom and my dad and my Bible teacher, Mr. Jason Bell. Because Calvary Murrieta is a small school, I was fortunate to be able to participate in band, choir, NHS, sports, and take AP classes. This made my schedule very stressful with a lot of late nights and last-minute studying sessions. But what I think I've learned from doing all these things is that God is there for me in everything, no matter how stressful. I am in the school pep band, jazz band, and concert band, and I happen to be the only trumpet player. But God has used the situation for good because it has encouraged me to play more confidently and rely on Him for help. I am currently working on a solo piece called Eritunian Trumpet Concerto, which I hope to perform in festival. This piece is a very challenging piece that is definitely helping me to build more confidence and trust in the Lord when I play because of the fast musical phrases and fingerings in the song. In choir, every time I hear the melody and harmony come together, I just know that God has blessed me more than I deserve through music. I am one of the 3 basses in the choir, and I have realized how important it is to sing confidently and help carry my part in the choir just so that all the parts can come together. In NHS, God has shown me how serving other people can change their whole day. Through NHS, I've served at the Brookdale Assisted Living Home in Murrieta, and I got to just see the people there light up when we gave them coffee and donuts and decorated the place with Christmas lights and ornaments. In the sports I've been in, track, volleyball, and cross country, I've seen God do tremendous things. One season of cross country, I had shin splints for almost the entire season. And at one point I could barely walk because of the excruciating pain in my shins. But God gave me healing right before the CIF qualifying meet, and I was able to get a fast enough time to qualify for the CIF meet. In the 4 AP classes that I've taken at Calvary, I've learned the most from my AP language and composition class, in which I learned how to write effectively. I honestly thought that I would not pass the exam because my multiple choice scores were like really low. But God strengthened me in the essay portion so that I got a 4 on the exam. I know God is working in my life every day, and I hope to bring that knowledge with me to college because I know I can't do anything without Christ. For college, I plan to attend Cedarville University in Ohio, and I will be going in as an undeclared major because I don't know what I want to do yet, but I know I love music, so I'll be minoring in music. By attending college, I hope to develop a greater relationship with Christ so that I can love others with the love that He shows me. Once again, I'd like to thank the sponsors, and here is Mr. Bell.
Just a little bit. Good morning. I'm Jason Bell. I'm Peyton's Bible teacher. I'll try to keep it to a minute. We have a lot of great kids at Calvary, but Peyton's one of those kids who honestly makes the school better. People gravitate to him, and instantly the mood of the room lightens. We would play games at lunch, and everyone would circle around him and start smiling and laughing. His kindness and his character is infectious. It's because it's funny because he doesn't talk that much, but he can control a room with just a few words. Peyton's also a hard worker. He's constantly working at things, whether it's academics or sports or band or any of the other 900 things he's doing. We had a Christmas special, and they brought him up on stage where they honored him as Student of the Month. And then he had to run back to the back of the sanctuary to play trumpet in the marching band. And then as soon as they were done, he had to run up stage and go sing in choir and then back down for a trumpet solo. So, I mean, this guy is everywhere. But here's the key. For Peyton, it's not about being better than everyone else. For him, it's about being his best. And I think that that's so important. It's not enough also for Peyton to just succeed by himself. He wants others to succeed with him, to come alongside. That's the kind of leader that I think people need. Someone who genuinely cares about everyone doing their best, doing their part to the best of their capacity. He's not a leader who's in constant competition with everyone. But with that being said, I'd like to list some of his accomplishments. Peyton has a grade point average of 4.06. He's a two-sport scholar athlete. Peyton has made varsity in volleyball, where they were league champs, in track, where they made it to CIF, and in cross country, he was the team captain, MVP, and made it to CIF. He's also won the Jazz Award, the Marching Band Award, Outstanding Trumpet at the Vanguard University Jazz Festival. First chair for trumpets at Calvary, second chair, and I'm going to mess it up, the Bravura Youth Symphony Band, and the list could go on and on. He's incredibly driven and a really hard worker. But what I'm most impressed with is his kindness, his humility, and his involvement and encouragement with others. Honestly, the world could use more Peytons, so you deserve this, kiddo.
Good morning. My son brings light into our world, and I can't imagine my days without him. They're rapidly coming to change, and that's going to be difficult for all of us in our family. I have two scriptures in mind for him that describe who he is as a person. Proverbs 20:27 says, "The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart." And I don't know exactly what God has plans for my son, but I know that he just brings joy and peace to our family and the members in our community and the people that he meets. And that to me just signifies who God is, where he's just bringing everybody together. He in cross country, my husband is the coach for that as well, and he just brings a light into that as well, where even on our hardest days when we've done cross country and the running, Peyton still has a smile on his face after we run 5 to 8 miles, and I don't know many people that are able to do that with running. Running is a very difficult sport to be in. Also, another scripture I have says, "Let a man so consider us as servants of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God." 1 Corinthians 4:1. Our hope is that God does amazing things with him, and what that is, we don't know yet. And we're excited to see what God has plans for him, and we support whatever direction God has him go. And he's telling me, "Oh, Mom, by the end of the year, you'll be crying." And I said, "I probably will." But that's because he brings a different kind of peace to our home, and he has a quiet spirit of himself that is able to listen to others even when they're in pain and suffering, and I think that's a very rare thing for people to have. So we thank God very much that we've had Peyton in our lives as long as we've been able to, and we hope to have more days of joy and peace and light with how God's going to use him in his life and in ours as well. Thank you.
Okay, up next is Murrieta Valley High School with Dr. Pettingale.
I'm proud to introduce Murrieta Valley High School's Student of the Month for December, Colin Winters. He is Murrieta through and through. He attended Cole Canyon Elementary School, Thompson Middle School, and Murrieta Valley High School. Our student body president, Garrett Otteson, says of his friend, "Colin is funny. He makes everyone laugh." And I must admit, it's difficult to stand up here and talk about Colin without having a big smile on my face. He's hilarious. But I've learned in watching Colin, he's so much more than that. I've seen the maturity that he displays on our campus. He has a genuine love of life, a love for people. He's charismatic. He's a leader in everything that he does. He plays a role that he doesn't even realize in helping to create a positive culture on our campus. Colin is one of the top students in our school, having taken many advanced placement and IB courses and maintaining above a 4.0 grade point average. And he manages to do this while playing school and club water polo nearly year-round. Year-round? Nearly year-round. He takes a break now and then. He has played water polo since he was 8 years old. He says that his discipline in the pool has carried over into the classroom. He has been a 4-year starter at goalie, carrying on our great tradition and never losing a water polo match under his watch in the league. In league. They play a tough preseason schedule. He was a two-time Southwestern League Most Valuable Player. He was first team All-CIF in Division II and an academic All-American, to name a few of his accomplishments. I'll leave the rest to Coach Linton. Colin says that water polo has helped him to grow in the area of humility. His mother says that he has always been such a good-hearted kid, always eager and willing to help others. His IB German teacher, Mrs. Erbel, says, "Colin is a hardworking and enthusiastic student who always gives his best effort. His positive energy positively influences everyone. I wish I had a Colin in every class." Out of a respect for the language that Colin is near fluent in, and out of respect for a former Nighthawk principal who was principal when Colin's brother attended and played water polo, I will close with this comment, which I'm going to ask Colin because I want to put him on the spot because he's fun to put on the spot, to ask him to interpret my last line here. I'm going to do my best. Colin ist ein Beispiel dafür, wie sie alles auf die Reitweise tun mit Respekt, Integrität, Teamwork, and Excellence. Colin Winters. What is that?
Colin is an example for doing the right way with respect, integrity, teamwork, and excellence. Colin Winters.
Did I kind of butcher that?
No, you did well. All right, my name is Colin Winters. I am a student athlete at Murrieta Valley High School. I am a 4-year starter on our men's varsity water polo team as the goalie. Today I brought my dad and my mom. I also brought my water polo coach, who has been a huge influence on my life, especially these past 4 years. The biggest obstacle I have overcome was a little over a year ago when my girlfriend's parents were in a fatal car accident. We were dating for about a year and a half at that time, and my life flipped upside down that night and the months following. Not being an adult and never having experienced anything like this, I struggled with knowing how to support her in this terrible tragedy. I always wanted to be there for her, but never wanted to constantly ask if she was okay because I never knew what was too much for her. This tragedy has taught me to never take anything for granted. I am thankful for each and every day, and I value every moment that I have with my loved ones. With this life lesson always in mind, I will hopefully be going to UCI to continue my water polo career and major in business administration. My ultimate goal is to have a real estate team centered in Newport. With all this said, I would first love to thank my mom and dad for always being a huge rock for me to lean on and always mentoring me through life. I want to thank my coach for pushing me to be the man I am today and will be in the future. He has taught me so many life lessons through water polo, and I can't thank him enough. Lastly, thank you for having me today at this amazing event. Congratulations to all the other Student of the Months around the district, and thank you for the sponsors that have made this possible.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Linton. I am the boys water polo coach at Murrieta Valley and also a physical education teacher, which is the reason for the informality. I'm going to go to my job after this. I thank you, Colin and family, for having me here this morning. I have been fortunate enough to do this a couple of times, and these are very special moments. I'm just going to talk briefly about Colin. We already mentioned the league MVP and all CIF and all American. These are all fantastic things. He's a very good water polo player. I think that goes without saying. But what I'd like to just briefly talk about is his character. And in a time where we have student athletes sometimes not wanting to go through struggles, persevere, change schools, change clubs because things are not going their way, this is the character, the model for being a company man. He's had his ups and downs, and he's had times where they have not been so easy for him, and he's stuck through it. So more than anything, I appreciate Colin's character, and he is a funny kid and a fun kid to be around, and his loyalty, and I think that speaks volumes coming from his parents and the way he was raised, and he's going to do great things in life, and I'm sure of that. So thank you, Colin, for having me here this morning. Best of luck. I hope he goes to UCI too. That's where my kids go. So yeah, I think it's a good school. Thank
you. Gosh, sitting here listening to all these stories is just amazing. First off, we want to thank the sponsors. We're a proud family, and the beacon of light, here in the room with the students is amazing. And you feel the energy, and we definitely need more students in our community like this. Like Dr. P had said, we've been in Murrieta for all of Colin's life, on the west side of Murrieta, Cole Canyon, Thompson, and now Murrieta Valley High School. And Colin has two siblings. He's got a brother and a sister. Sister's at MV right now. So we definitely are proud to be here in this room. It's really amazing, and to hear these stories, just continue on doing what you're doing. And that's why we live in Murrieta as a family. We picked this place a long time ago, and we love it here. So thank you, Dr. P. Thank you, Coach Linton. Coach Linton has been in our life for many years, a decade, I would say, for water polo. And for those that you don't know about water polo, it's not one of these easy sports that you could just show up and be an amazing athlete. You have to put your time in, a lot of early mornings, and to look at Colin and wake up at 5:30 in the morning, he still has a smile on his face to go to practice. Not a lot of kids do that. In fact, a lot of times he will beat you up. He will wake up before the alarm goes off. So it shows the passion that he has. It shows the internal light that is in him. And then at night, late practices, and when you take the hard courses, which a lot of these students here do, you're up studying late at night. And that discipline, that self-motivation is unbelievable. So, love this kid. It's unbelievable. Super proud. Mom and Dad, love you and look forward to seeing some great things in the future. So, thank you.
Next up, Vista Murrieta High School Principal, Mick Wager.
All right, coming close.
We are family.
That's it. Okay, welcome everybody, or hello. I don't have to welcome you. You've been here for a while. But congratulations to all the students of the month. This month, like Andy Moore said, this is a big deal, but each of you are even bigger deal, and that's why you're here. It's incredible what you've all achieved and persevered, overcome. Speaking of that, our student of the month this month is Blake Lindemeyer, and he was on all of our short list, at the top of our short list for student of the month. We just wanted to make him wait a few months just to make him suffer. No, not really. We, I'm sorry. He's without a doubt a model of class, character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service. Incredible kid. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Blake over his last years better than many students because his mom happens to be our school's bookkeeper, which is a huge and time-consuming.
responsibility, and Blake has spent many hours sitting across from my office in his mom's office waiting for her to finish so she could take him home. He doesn't have to do that anymore because now he drives, which is nice. Anyway, Blake has an extremely dry sense of humor. A lot of kids don't know when he's actually joking or not. A lot of adults don't know when he's actually joking or not. Anyway, so he's quick with a wry comment. And so I naturally have exchanged many quips and jabs and, that kind of thing with him, and wisecracks, as you might imagine, during these times. Anyway, if it's been said that a hearty, good sense of humor is a sign of intelligence, and if that's the case, then Blake is really, really smart. And speaking of smart, Blake is an outstanding student who consistently challenges himself. He's signed up for 15 AP and dual enrollment courses. He's a National Merit Commended student. Is currently 22nd in his class of 868 with well over a 4.0 GPA. Blake has served in ASB all 4 years. Started out as a freshman vice president. He's now the senior class president, and he's also a link crew leader helping our freshman students adapt to high school and get involved. Speaking of getting involved, Blake has himself been very involved. He's a Tower Bridge International ambassador who traveled to China. Was that last year? That was last year. I traveled to China last year, and while he was there, he was asked to give a speech unexpectedly, and he gave the speech that made a big splash. Everyone there loved it. It was on Facebook, and he's just very impressive because he's quiet. Like I said, he seems quiet, and then until you talk to him, then he's not quiet. And as they say, still waters run deep, and he just has, his mind is always going. And be careful of what you say because he's listening to every word, and he'll let you know if you're wrong real quickly. Anyway, he was one of the first. He will be one of the first students at our school to finish the CTE engineering pathway. He's a leader there, founder and president of the Innovation Club, which is an engineering club on campus. Blake also co-founded the Broncobotics Club, which competes in robotics competitions. And his team took first place this year in their first ever competition. They went thinking, okay, we'll try it out, and they ended up taking first place, which was awesome. And more than all that, Blake is extremely persistent, overcoming all kinds of adversity that we don't have to get into. He's creative, he's thoughtful, he's a very kind young man, keeps a positive attitude. When everyone else is freaking out around him, he just stays centered and focused. Like I said, even through the most trying of times. So it's my privilege to know Blake and his family, and we at Vista are very proud that he's a Bronco, and proud that he's our selection for this month's Student of the Month. So congratulations, Blake.
Mine's on my phone.
Very techy.
Hi, I'm Blake Lindemeyer. He already said that. It's all in your papers, so you can refer back to that. But my name is Blake Lindemeyer, and I have the honor of being here today. And I'd first like to start by thanking all of the guests of our community, the distinguished guests, and the school faculty that all made this event and this award possible. And of course, I'd like to congratulate all my other students here that have done just great things in our community. I think we all just are pillars of, like he said, class, and we make Murrieta a better place. So getting here was no easy feat. It took a lot of hard work and determination, and that was just for the survival part for 17 years. I would say actually succeeding took a little more effort. But my basic story up until high school is pretty boring, so I'll give you the SparkNotes summary. I was just a smartish student, did well enough in school, participated in leadership for about 8 years, but I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. That is until I joined my engineering courses at my campus my sophomore year with Mrs. Blasky here. When they were introduced, I jumped into them, didn't really know what I was getting into, but kind of was like, hey, this looks interesting. But when I came in, it was when I was introduced to the amazing world of engineering, the principles of engineering, and more importantly, the engineering process. Now, I'm not going to nerd out too much, but that process is basically you define a problem in the world, you brainstorm like 20 different solutions to it, and then you make and design an ideal way to fix a problem. And that's kind of boring, and the reason I'm telling you that is because that's kind of what my passion is, and so I have Ms. Blasky to thank for that. My passion is, I'd like to say, innovation, which is similar principle. You take an object, you find out where it has its flaws, and you make it the best it can be. And that has stuck with me through I've now taken 4 years of engineering courses, and every single one of them has affirmed my belief that I want to be an engineer. I want to use my creativity and my skills to go forth and innovate. Little anecdote, I like to say with innovation, it takes a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of creativity. My intelligence can be more noticeable, but my creativity is more subtle. But there's a little story. When I was a kid, I used to take apart my toys and make them, I'll say, better by putting them back together. Better normally means more dangerous, but nevertheless, that's what I've been doing for a while, has just been kind of innovating on my own. And then joining these engineering courses, I realized, hey, this is something I can get paid to do, and you get paid a lot. So it's definitely something I'm passionate about, so it's doing what I love, and I would like to thank Ms. Blasky for introducing me to both engineering and these principles that I hope will guide me through life. Similarly, I'd like to thank both my parents, my mother and my father. Each of them has been supportive, loving, and helpful throughout my 17 years, and I know without a doubt if it wasn't for them, I would not be standing here today winning this award. So thank you guys for that. And I'll end it just on what I'm going to be doing in my future. I don't currently know where I'll be going to college. The dream school is MIT, but I can tell by the looks on some of your faces, you know that's a competitive school. But in about like 52 hours, I'll know if I was accepted, so fingers crossed. If we all cross our fingers, I think it'll work. But even if I don't go to MIT, any career I go, or any college I go to, I know I can better my engineering skills and eventually go into the world and use my passion for innovation to hopefully make our world a better place. So, thank you. And here's Ms. Blasky. Move the mic down for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, this is Mr. Wayers, but can I steal some of the paragraphs here?
read it.
No, actually, I didn't prepare for any speech. I was telling the mom, all the phrases are in my brain. So all the phrases and then every little thing that each person said to every student, it's also floating in my brain. So it's a hodgepodge of phrases. So I don't know. No, but anyway, Blake is really unique. And he mentioned the engineering program. The success of the engineering program starts with Blake. And all the students, all the students that joined us in our struggle to establish this program, and it's really getting its way. And with Blake going out into the world, you know, he's bringing the spirit of innovation, and that's what I'm thankful for and grateful on behalf of the other teachers who's doing this program, and of course, thankful and gratitude to every student, to every admin, to every Miss Walters is really behind all of this. But it took 10 years or even 6 years to start this program. But we're now on our way for third year, and thank you for Blake. Now, regardless of that, Blake is the focus here. And I will just say Blake displays all the character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service in action and by example. And the thing is, he has made a difference in not only in our school, that's the Bronco spirit, hardcore, you know, the kindness, the humility, and the compassion that he has displayed in our school, in the communities. And even, you know, we were called the most spirited high school in the nation because he even spread it out to China, you know, not only in the U.S. So it was so fantastic and an honor and pleasure to have Blake as my student. Thank you so much, Blake.
I'm trying to be young. I'm also on my phone. Yeah. Is the print bigger? No, not yet. It will. Thank you very much to everybody for this. A great honor for my son. Congratulations to Blake. It's great to hear about all that you've accomplished so far with your school, everything that you're involved in. I've heard a lot of wonderful things that have been said about you, you know, and we can list them all. But what I think that makes us so proud as his family is who Blake is. It's his character. It's sometimes it's seen by some. Sometimes he does kind of keep it a little close to the vest every once in a while. But those who know him, they know that he is a kind and loving individual, that he's always stayed true to himself. Since he was young, he's had a vision for what he wanted to do.
and he's put forth the work ethic to see the beginnings of that coming true. Blake has had a share of hurdles and setbacks, but he's always persevered with tenacity and a high morals that add to his unbelievable person that he is to get to where he wants to go. We get to see how genuine he is with his kindness towards his friends and family, which is something that we as a family are very proud of. Like I said, everything that he's done and all that he's done through school and his leadership and all of the individual accolades that you've received make us so proud, but nothing makes us more proud than the man you're becoming right now. So, love you.
All right. We'll welcome Mary Walters back up to the stage. You have 90 seconds, Mary.
90 times 10. Well, I know that you enjoyed all of the student stories this morning as much as I did. I told you to save a dry corner of your napkin, and it was just very heartwarming this morning. So I hope you enjoyed all the stories. At this time, I'd like to invite our dignitaries to come over to share a few words. And while they're lining up, that would be Mr. Kelly. I think Mayor Ingram is here, Brenda Denstad is here, John Hunneman from Senator Jeff Stone's office, and Samantha Stillwell from Melissa Melendez's office. So while they're lining up, I'm going to show you, you have a little bit of homework. So you see there's thank you notes. So you have some time over the holidays to do the thank you notes. The sponsors love thank you notes because they're giving their hard-earned money to sponsor this program, sponsor the breakfast, sponsor the scholarships, and those continual words coming back from the recipients keeps us motivated to give those scholarships. But I'm going to make your life just a little bit easier. You will not have to address the envelopes. You have labels, and then you can take them to your principal, and they will take care of sending it out for you. So, over the holidays homework. So with that in mind, I will turn it over to, I think John Hunneman is first up, right? All right.
Good morning. I'm John Hunneman with State Senator Jeff Stone's office. Colin, guten Tag, wie geht's? That's the extent of the 4 years of high school German that I remember. I want to congratulate each of the students of the month. We are, as I've said before, we're Murrieta natives. Well, my kids are Murrieta natives. Both graduates of Murrieta Valley High School in 1996 and 2008. Coach Lynn, how long have you been at Murrieta Valley High School?
Since year 20.
Okay, yeah, I think one of my sons at least had you for PE at some point. So, always proud to see you. It's good to hear you talk about community today because this is such a special community. As you know, if you've been here your whole, for your kid's entire academic career or whenever you came here. Senator Stone knows that. Senator Stone came to the area in 1983 when there were about 8 people here, and started a business and was on the Temecula City Council and county supervisor, and was just reelected to the state senate, which was good news for me because I have a job for 4 more years. So, but I want to congratulate you. A couple of things. We do have, I brought this up before, we have a competition called There Ought to Be a Law, which is an opportunity for high school students throughout the 28th Senate District, which goes from here all the way to the Arizona border, to propose legislation. And we'll pick 1 or 2 good bills. The bar is not high. Last year they banned straws. This year they're talking about taxing your text messages. So, I invite you to, the deadline is coming up pretty quick on this because we do our legislative calendar in January. So there's a flyer out there. We have 100 entries so far from across the district. For the first time this year, we actually have 2 from Murrieta so far. 2. We've done this for 4 years, and those are the first 2, so they'll be in consideration. So that flyer's out there. The Senator is having an open house, a holiday open house tomorrow in our Murrieta office, which is right next to the new Rady Children's Center over here off of Hancock Avenue from 4 to 6. like to invite you to all come over. The center will be there, and we have a Toys for Tots drive coming too. You don't have to bring a toy for a tot, but we'd love to see you. Congratulations to the students. Das Zimmer ist groß und hell. I remember that means the room is large and bright. That's all the German I remember. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samantha. I'm here on behalf of Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, and she herself has 5 children. So parents, she feels your pain as well, that now that the kids are going to college and you're going to have to open up your pocketbooks. So students get those scholarships, and you guys are already on track to do that with the Student of the Year program. You guys are going to make sure you get your applications in, right? Yes? Okay. Just wanted to double check on that. But congratulations to all of the students. You guys are wonderful, and it's wonderful to hear all of your stories and the perseverance and just the amazing academic achievements. I'm very impressed with the students in the room today, but I want to remind you, at the end of the day, what you're remembered for is the light that you bring, the smile that you have on your face, and sorry, this makes me a little emotional. Just that you are a person who brightens somebody else's day, and that's what you're remembered for. So remember that, and congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Denstead, and I'm here today on behalf of our Congressman Ken Calvert, who wants to wish you a sincere congratulations on all of your achievements and everything that you've done this far. You know, finals are coming, the stress is there, the Christmas season is here. Parents, I am a parent as well. I sent my youngest child off to college this year. It sucks. I am also the parent of the Murrieta Valley student who passed away last year. Leanne was an IB graduate. She was an accomplished student. She was a cross-country runner. And she was at Northern Arizona University when she contracted a rare form of bacterial meningitis. And I can tell you that in this last year, the things that I have learned were not that Leanne was the accomplished student or the accomplished runner that she was. She was ultimately remembered for her kindness and the things that she did for others. So while your smarts and your brains will take you places, your kind heart and the things that you do for others are what you will be remembered for. So never lose sight of what is truly important. Family, friends, and the mark that you leave on the world with the people that you encounter every day. Kindness is free. It doesn't cost you a thing. So I hope you take that with you on your journey. I wish you sincere congratulations. God bless each and every one of you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pat Kelly. I'm the superintendent for Murrieta Valley Unified School District. And weren't the stories powerful this morning? What a great group of seniors that we were able to celebrate today. And I think what struck me was really the gratefulness that we have for the community that we live in, because in these stories you really saw potential and possibility of young people that may not have been clearly evident in people's eyes. Yet there were people that were planted in our young people's lives, whether it's parents, family, teachers, administrators, community members, that saw there's something there. There's something unique. There's something of quality. There's something exceptional that can emerge. And so it was really powerful to be able to listen to those stories today. And I know the statement of shine bright has been brought up. Remember, you can shine the brightest where it's dark. So head out where those areas of need are and shine bright, and that potential and possibility that's going to come about based on who you are is limitless. But we are just so proud and honored to have you in our community, and congratulations to you.
We're almost there, Mick. I think I can do it in 90 more seconds. But there was just to echo what Pat said, there was a common thread amongst Ethan, Serena, Kirsten, Peyton, Colin, and Blake. And the words that came were they're all passionate, humble, they have a servant heart, resilient, perseverance, hardworking, they're doing their personal best, and they're focused. And so Pat just talked about blessing. You are all a blessing. You're all very special. And so with that, Sally always ends the program with Maxwell's minute. And so the word is blessings. Let's see how I do.
Today's word is blessings on Minute with Maxwell. Hi, my name is John, and Karen Clements from Anaheim, California, who's in sales, sent this word in to us. We know Karen, that's a word I use a lot.
Where is
blessings? Because I think it's a word that pretty much says that I have been blessed. But I've only been blessed not because sometimes I deserve it, but because
you just have to do that.
I'm a person of faith. God is good. So when I look at blessings, I don't look at it as something to pat myself on the back. I look at blessings as something to pat someone else on the back. Because I've had people who come into my life, added value to me, and they were an incredible blessing to me. I think the word blessings means gratitude. I think the word blessings means big picture. You see more than yourself in the picture. You see all of the good things that are happening to you that you didn't work for, that you didn't even understand when they transpired, and you know that you didn't earn. Now I like that. Because when we really count our blessings, we will be grateful. Because most of us have been blessed way, way more than we deserve.
Well, thank you for being a blessing, and Merry Christmas. And students, you'll be grabbing your backpacks, and families and sponsors, and we will be meeting out front and having our pictures taken. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas, and have a wonderful holiday season.